Today, I'm excited to finally bring you the full review of the IXDAO Engineer from Aliexpress. This watch punches higher than any other watch I'd say that I've reviewed so far on this channel. I picked it up for about $250 on the 11/11 sale. This is a PT5000 movement. They also offered two other variations with Swiss movements for just a little bit more. But I'm telling you, when you look at the macro shots, you'd be very surprised at all the detail, to include all the wonderful finishing on the case. This is an integrated bracelet. It's not for everybody, but this is going to be perhaps one of my favorite watches outside of my two luxury watches that I just can't live without. So let's flip the camera around and hop right into this full review. Now, this has probably been a watch that I am the most excited to bring you. I've done a review on a lot of watches this year, and I think this is a good watch. This and the next one, the Vaer dive watch that I'm actually going to fill with oil. I think those are a good last two watches to round off the year. Now, I love the way this looks. I love this IXDAO, however you want to pronounce it, the Engineer. This thing, it just screams elegance. I don't care who you are, right? It screams elegance from the brushed finishing to the high polished edges. This thing is just done extremely well. It does have an integrated bracelet. Once I sized it down, you can see that it's missing a link on one side. Fits perfectly on the wrist, right? You don't even notice that this double butterfly pusher, which is a milled clasp, everything just fits well. You'll see it on the wrist in just a minute. So let's go ahead and talk about this Engineer that I have here on the desk. This thing is full 316L stainless steel. The bezel is brushed, screwed in with chamfered edges along the side. The case is also brushed with also chamfered edging along the side. Gives it a very, very nice pop, very pleasing to the eye. You can see that this is an integrated bracelet. Again, tapers down to a butterfly double pusher clasp, all brushed with chamfered edging on the outside of the links, on the outside of the inside links. It just gives a very, very nice pop. Now, this thing comes in at just under 40 millimeters, 39.5 millimeters in diameter. This thing is just under 11 millimeters thick, and that includes the sapphire crystal covering that beautiful teal dial with wonderful texturing. We're going to do some macro shots here in just a minute. And the total overall lug to lug, or the footprint of the watch, is going to be just under 46 millimeters. Just beautiful. Love the way the crown guards come up to the crown. That has the logo that you see, which is stamped here just underneath the 12. So let's talk about the dial, because the dial and the movement inside is what I love the most. Now, the movement inside is offered on AliExpress. I got this on the 11/11 deal. This was $250 with the PT5000 movement inside. They also offered it with an SW200 Swiss movement, the Salida movement. They also offered it with an ETA 2824, which kind of is funny because the PT5000 is a clone of the ETA 2824-2 because it has the date here at the 3 o'clock position. So let's talk about the dial first, then we'll talk about the movement inside. We'll toss it on the wrist, and then we'll close down this video with nothing but positive comments because I love this watch. Now, the dial, you can tell, has just a wonderful texturing. Now, I mentioned in the unboxing, this is an homage to the IWC Engineer, and the dial is just beautifully textured, layered. We'll do some macro shots here. You can see that everything is done quite nicely. Now, for $250, they do offer quite a lot, batons all the way around for the indices, double baton at the 12 o'clock, engineer just above the 6, and of course their logo just underneath the 12. One of the details I love the most is around the date is a stainless steel box where the date wheel is colored to match the dial. So the date you can see is white with the same color on the background. It's just a nice little thing that they didn't have to do, that they did anyway. Everything lines up perfectly. The PT 5000 movement is a high beat movement, 28,800 vibrations an hour, about 40 hours of power reserve. They say 38 hours of power reserve, 25 joules. One of the things that I do love about this screw down crown, 100 meters of water resistance. Pull into the first position and I can adjust the date. Now this is a quick change date. Everybody who's into affordable watches know the slow changeover date that comes with the cheaper watches. This is a quick changeover date, and I'll show you right now. Pull it into the outer position. Hacking, you can see right there, and hand winding. Let's go ahead and change the date on this through the time. Let's see all the way around. The movement feels just absolutely solid. Watch the date. Quick changeover date, not exactly at the 12. Don't even care about that. We all are used to that NH35, right, date that just slowly changes over. It takes about an hour and a half. Not this. Really love the fact that they put a lot of time and energy into this watch. The case back is screw down, like I said, 100 meters of water resistance. I'm glad they didn't do an open display on the back. I'm just kind of sick and tired of that. Closed case back. Love what they did. Again, integrated bracelet, proper milled. Let's go ahead and toss it on the wrist. And I just absolutely love the way this thing looks. You can see that it does fit on my wrist perfectly, absolutely perfectly. Now, you can see right here, it does say IXDAO, which is the brand, and then, of course, their logo. If this is the only thing you see on the entire watch that is IXDAO, great. Everything else is just engineer with their logo, their beautiful flower logo. One of the things that I will say that I love the most is the detail on the dial itself. As we sit here looking at it on my wrist, I love what they've done. They got a chapter ring around the outside, beautifully printed. The double batons at the 12 o'clock aren't even touching. There's a slight space between them that's not even necessary, but they did it anyway. And the texture on the dial, especially in the macro shots, just show that the quality control on this watch was perfect. Now, this watch was only $250 shipped to my house, right? It was during the 11/11 sale. Normally, this thing is like, we'll say just under $300, but it's just hard to beat, right? And this is a direct homage, like I said, to the IWC engineer. Of course, they spelled engineer not like IWC did, but as engineer. And everything is great. The smooth sweeping of the second hand, the way the minute and hour hand are, the double batons. It uses Swiss Luminova for its lume, and it shines bright. Really, to me, what does justice to this watch is the brushed finishing of the case, the bracelet, with all the high polished chamfered edges around it. It just gives it a beautiful pop that you're not going to see on many watches of this price point. In fact, I dare you to mention in the comments a watch done any better. Well, what do you guys think? Do you like it? Do you hate it? Let me know. Now, what do you guys think about what I have to say? Now, there's a video I'm going to be releasing of the two watches I could never live without. And perhaps this will be number 3. Now, I just love the look of it. This is one of the perfect, this is like the Rolex Submariner, and the fact that it can be dressed up and dressed down simultaneously. Now, if you don't like the teal green that I picked out, which I picked it out for a reason. When I saw the color, I was like, that is different. I love the way it looks, and I'm going to pick it up because it's different. Now, if you want to pick something out that's the white or the black dial that matches nearly everything, then you're not going to be disappointed with your purchase. Now, I will leave a link on Aliexpress. I don't know if the link is going to work, but just search the IXDAO engineer on Aliexpress and it's going to pop up with whoever's selling it. Specifically, this was their store that I went to, but they also do things like Heimdallr and Pagani Design. So keep all that in mind. Now, what do you guys think about this video? Do you like to watch? Do you hate to watch? I would love to know your guys' absolute and utter truth in your opinions. Leave them down in the comments below. I respond to almost every single comment. Now, if you've made it this far in the video, do me a few favors, if you will. It really does help the channel. I am over on Instagram at all_things_random_AK. Follow me over there. Also, hit the subscribe button. It really doesn't cost you anything. It's free and it does help the channel. Hit the like button and hit that notification bell because a lot of people aren't getting notified when I drop all of these videos. I will be releasing a video nearly every day until the end of the year, to include my Vaer dive watch that I will also fill with silicone oil. That is going to be a great project. Now, the reason I chose that watch is because it is a solar movement, so there's no reason to ever replace the battery. But, you know, I got a lot of videos coming out in the future. Make sure you hit that notification bell. I'll see you guys in the next one.